Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you are well. Okay, I hope you are well. Okay, now let us begin with our grammar part and see here. Lesson number 3, grammar lesson number 3 was about adjectives. I have explained it to you. You have got the video also. Now, based on those adjectives, we have got some exercises. First and second exercise you are going to do in the textbook only. So, for open your textbooks and take your pencils in your hand or pen, whatever it is. And now see here. First, what we are going to do, the first exercise is identify the types of adjectives underlined in the following sentences. Now, here in the following sentences, the first word, for 1 to 8 sentences are there. All the first words are underlined. You have to find out what type of adjective it is. Now we have learnt about the different adjectives, what demonstrative adjectives, interrogative adjectives and all. So we have to find out possessive adjective, exclamatory adjective and all. We have to find out what they are, whether it is demonstrative or whether it is exclamatory or whether it is interrogative or possessive adjective, that we have to find out. So now first one. These apples are sold. These apples. Now here, these apples here, it is a demonstrative adjective. So write over there DA or write demonstrative adjective. What is the question? Identify the types of adjectives, only write demonstrative. First, these is demonstrative. Look at the second word. That boy is very naughty. Which boy? That boy. We are pointing to that particular boy. So here that also is a demonstrative adjective. Third one, such people are dangerous. Which type of people? Such. So here also it is a demonstrative adjective. Demonstrative adjective means what? It points to a person, particular person it is pointing. So that is why these three are demonstrative adjectives. Now, their house is bigger than ours. Their means it is showing possession. Whose house? Their house. It belongs to them. So here theirs is a possessive adjective. So write possessive adjective. Which flower do you like the most? Now here a question is asked. What do we see when a question is asked? What is there? It is an interrogative sentence. Yes. So here this is an interrogative adjective. Which flower do you like the most? Which is an interrogative adjective. Now sixth one. What a huge animal the elephant is. Now look at the sentence. At the end, which mark is there? Yes, exclamatory mark is there. So it is this sentence is an exclamatory adjective. This what over here is an exclamatory adjective. What a foolish mistake you have made. What a foolish mistake means sudden surprise is there. Sudden we are expressing something. Yes, mistake you have made. This is also exclamatory adjective, right? Exclamatory over there. And eighth one is, which way is the shortest to the station? Which way is the shortest to the station? Now here it is again a question is asked. So it is an interrogative adjective. Understood? Okay. Now look at the second one. Here see here, insert the missing possessives. Now here insert means the blanks are there, we have to put. Which are they? Hers, theirs, her, your, mine, yours, ours and their. These are the possessive adjectives which we have to write in the 7 fill in the blanks. Okay, I'll tell you, you write it. This is not by my pen, it must be yours, not your, it must be yours, yours. Second sentence, you can take dash share and give me mine. You can take your. Here S will not come. You can take your share. Will not say you can take yours share. No. You can take your share and give me mine. Third one is, she saw a cousin of dash in the mall last night. She saw a cousin of her or hers. It will come hers. First one, HERS. She saw a cousin of hers in the mall last night. Then fourth one, she has lost. Now here hers will not come. She has lost her pencil. Please lend her yours. Lend means to give. Lend means what? To give. Please lend her yours. Fifth one, have you seen a book of Mine, lying about somewhere. Whose book? It is showing possessive. These are possessive adjectives, yes? These we have to write properly in each sentence. Have you seen a book of mine? Mine means it belonging to me. Lying about somewhere. Sixth one. Why don't we collect some friends of our? No, it will come ours. Belongs to everyone, ours. Group. And have a big party. Seventh one. They have two of their. T-H-E-I-R. Here theirs will not come there. Possessive adjective. What? They have two of their. T-H-E-R. Their houses in the street. And the house on the corner is also theirs. Theirs. Understood where to write there and theirs, her and hers? Okay. Now look at the third exercise. This exercise you have to write in the book. Here, correct the following sentences. Sentences are written over here, but there are mistakes. What mistakes are there? Where her should be there, it is hers. Where your should be there, it is written yours. Where my should be there, it is written mine. So these corrections you have to make. So what you do is write the main question. What is the main question? In the notebook, write page 15. Directly write 3. Correct the following sentences. Write then write answer 1. Don't write this sentence. I asked her's name. Now here, I asked her's name. This is wrong. So how will you write it correctly? I asked her name. I asked her name. Hers is wrong. Here, all these sentences, how many sentences are there? 10 sentences are there. They are written wrong. We are writing it correctly. And underline her. Each sentence, the words which I have underlined, you have to underline. Why? Because this word in the book was written wrong. Here we are writing it in a proper manner or correct manner. Now look at the second sentence. Those are ours pens. No, those are ours pens. No, it is those are our pens. Ours, S is there, we are not going to write it over here. Our pens. Then look at the third sentence. Those houses are theirs. Now here theirs, I have also written theirs, but what is the difference? In the book, what is there? Apostrophe S is given here. We have to not give apostrophe S over there. Okay, not to give apostrophe S. Instead of giving apostrophe, directly write S. Don't give apostrophe. Is it clear? Now fourth one. Yours servant looks tired. Yours is wrong. Your servant looks tired. Your servant looks tired. Now fifth one. Would you lend me your pen? Would you lend me your pen? Underline the words which I have underlined, so you know that this word was written wrongly in the textbook. We are correcting it. So again, while correcting also, you have to write it and underline it. Now sixth one. I shall always be sincerely yours. Now we write sincerely yours when we end a letter. Yes, sincerely yours, and we write our name. Now here, for yours, we never give an apostrophe after R, not to write apostrophe S. After yours, you don't have to write apostrophe S. In the book, it is written, I shall always be sincerely yours. Have I given apostrophe? No, there is no need to give apostrophe. Now look at the seventh. The action of yours was not liked. Again here, we are not going to give the apostrophe. The action of yours was not liked. Don't give apostrophe. Apostrophe is given, so that is why it's wrong. Eighth one. These ideas of ours were liked by all. Here also ours, after our apostrophe S is written. These ideas of ours, we are not going to give apostrophe. Ours we have to write, but without giving apostrophe S. These ideas of ours were liked by all. Ninth one. Your father and my father are fast friends. Your father and my father are fast friends. Not to write mine. Then 10th one. I shall take yours book. You can take mine book. This sentence only doesn't sound good, no? I shall take your book. You can take my book. Understood? I shall take yours book is wrong. I shall take your book. You can take my book. Understood? These are the sentences. You have to write it in your notebook and underline the words which are which I have underlined, so you understand which word is made correct. If you write it like that and don't underline, you will not understand. Now on the same page, page number 16, see here, this you have to learn it, okay? This you have to learn it, read it and learn it by heart. Formation of adjectives, boy, boyish, fool, foolish, silk, silken. This all you have to learn by heart, okay? Second is what? Many adjectives from nouns. Second is from verbs. Tire, tireless, cease, ceaseless. And then some adjectives are formed from other adjectives. Tragic, tragical, black, blackish, sick, sickly. So these are the adjectives, how the words are used differently. Understood? Now look here. For your unit test, you are having a comprehension. What is a comprehension? Tell me, students. What do you mean by comprehension? Comprehension means a passage is given. You have to read the passage. You have to read the passage and the answers. You have to answer the questions which are given below. Okay. Now, when we are going to do here, the answers you are going to write in your notebook. Don't write the passage in the notebook. Only write comprehension and write the page number and write the name of the passage. Only write passage 1. Understood? Now see here, I am reading the passage. Now comprehension we are going to do in the paper also. Comprehension will come. But now here it is a seen passage. Here you know. In the paper some different passage will come. It will not be very difficult. Don't worry. It will be a simple passage. You have to read it. But for that we require some practice. Okay. Now see here passage 1 on page number 101. Take out page number 101. I will read the passage. One day an old gentleman was walking slowly along a street. He saw a little boy trying to reach a doorbell, which was too high for him. The old man was very kind-hearted. He wanted to help the little boy, so he stopped and said, "I will ring the bell for you." And then he pushed the bell so hard that it could be heard all over the house. The little boy looked up at him and said, "Now we will run away. Come on." But before the old gentleman could perceive, now here perceive means could understand. Perceive means to understand what was happening, the mischievous boy means the boy who is very naughty, had run round the corner of the street. The old man was left there alone to explain to the angry owner of the house why he had rung the bell. Now what do we see over here? What do we see over here? This is a simple passage. What is this passage? A boy is there. He is a small boy. And what is he? He is trying to ring the bell of a house. And what is the bell? The bell is very high. What? The bell is very high and he cannot reach. His hand doesn't reach it. So his hand is not reaching over there. So what does he do? He tries to jump. He tries to jump and ring the bell. That an old man sees him. Man sees him. The man says, "There is a small boy. Let me help him. Come on, I will go and help him." Then he rings the bell. But that man, what happens? He rings the bell so hard that it can be heard everywhere. Everywhere could hear. And now the boy tells him, "Come on now, let us run. We will run away." The boy was naughty. He was playing mischief. But before the man could turn, when we ring the bell, what happens? When we ring the bell of the house, who is inside, they come out, no? So inside the owner of the house came. He was very angry. Why? Why was he angry? Because this man, he had pressed the bell very hard. On who had told? Did the man wanted to press the bell? Did the man had come for his work? No, the man had not come for his work. But the boy was there, and what the man thought? The man thought that the boy has some work, and to help the boy, he did it. But did the boy really have some work in the house with the house owner? No, he was just playing a mischief. So should we play mischief like this? Many children have the habit, no? Many people we see. In the afternoon, someone is sleeping, they go and ring the bell. Unnecessarily they do that. Why? Just to play mischief or to give trouble. So in this passage we see that this boy Purposely he is doing it, and the old man helps him. The old man thinks that really he has some work, and that is why the old man tries to help him. So, but what do we see here now? We see that the old man had to listen. The owner of the house, did he shout at the boy? No. Why did he shout? Because the boy had already gone away. He was not there only the old man was there. So the old man had to listen. So this is one comprehension. In the paper also you are going to get a comprehension, but it will be different. So now here in your notebooks, don't write this, whole passage you don't write. Just write page 101, passage 1. Page 101, passage 1. In the grammar composition books you are having, no? There you have to write this. Now answer the following question briefly. What was the little boy trying to do? What was he trying to do? Yes. So I am writing the answer. Write answer 1. What was the boy trying to do? What was he trying to do? He was trying to reach a doorbell. The little boy was trying to reach the doorbell. These answers in the notebook you have to write. What is the second? I will ring the bell for you. Who does the word you here refer to? I will ring the bell for you. Who does the word you refer to over here? You means to whom it is referring? To the boy. Understood? It refers to the boy. Yes or no? Yes. It refers the little boy. The little boy. Then third, who did the little boy want to irritate? Irritate means what? Irritate means to make angry. Right over there. Irritate is there now on the top right. Irritate means to make someone angry. To make someone angry. Who did the little boy want to irritate? Who did he want to irritate? He wanted to irritate the owner of the house. This is answer second. Answer 3. Who did he want to irritate? He wanted to irritate owner of the house. He wanted to irritate. Irritate means, write the meaning. Irritate means to make someone angry. He wanted to irritate the owner of the house. The owner of the house. Now, who did the owner of the house see at the door? Now, the boy had he ran away. Then who was standing at the door? The owner came out. Then whom did he see? Who was standing at the door? The old man. So, whom did the owner see at the door? The owner saw. When you write the answer, students, you have to write it in full sentence. Only when it is, sometimes it is mentioned, write in answer in 1 or 2 words. That time only you have to write only in 1 or 2 words. Otherwise, you have to write the sentence, answers in full sentence. He saw the old man at the door. He saw the old man at the door. At the door. Understood? Now, find the antonyms of the following from the passage. Antonyms means what? Opposite words. Synonym means similar words. Antonym means opposite words from the passage. Now, in this passage, there are opposites of these words, So, after this, draw a line Write B question and write antonyms. What are antonyms? Antonyms are opposite words. First is, now see here, when you write antonyms, you have to give a cross marker. Fast, slow. From the passage we have to write pleased, here pleased is irritate. Then pulled, then he pushed, pulled and young. Pulled and young. What is the opposite of young? Opposite of young is old, and pulled is, I think, pleased, I think it might be irritate or angry. I'll just check the answer at the back. I'll just check it. 1 minute, students. 1 minute only. But see here, when you are writing the antonyms, you have to write the, yes, it is not irritate, it is angry. It pulled is pushed. Instead of irritate, you can write irritate also and write angry also, or angry. Third is pulled or pushed. Fourth one is what? Young and old. Okay. Now the third one, C, is you have to write this in the textbook itself. The little boy was very, now you have to write these answers on your own. The little boy was very, what you have to write? The little boy was very mischievous. Right, or these answers you have to write on. The little boy was very mischievous. Mischievous spelling is here. M-I-S-C-H-I-E-V-O-U-S. In the textbook only you write. Second, dash, push the bell for the little boy. Who pushed the bell for the little boy? The old man, right? The old man. He was very kind-hearted, yes or no? The old man, only write old man. Don't write the kind-hearted old man. Or if you want to write, you can write the kind-hearted old man, but it will be too long. The old man also, if you write, it is okay. The little boy asked the old man to ring the bell. What did he ask for? He asked for help. The boy asked for help. And what help he wanted? To ring the bell for him. The little boy could not press the doorbell because, why he couldn't press the doorbell? Because it was too high. His hand was not reaching. So the bell was too high, so the boy couldn't reach it. Understood this? So this third one, see, complete the following in the textbook only you write. Don't write in the notebook. These two, only write page number 101, passage 1, and this you are going to write in the notebook, grammar notebook. Same comprehension will not come, but the comprehensions, other comprehension will come in the paper. Understood? Under other composition, comprehension means other passage will come. You have to read it very carefully. You have to read the passage very carefully, and then you have to write the answers. Now in that, after this, in the composition part, grammar composition, you have another thing. After comprehension, you have to write a story. Now for story writing, what is there? For story writing, points will be given. Means points will be given. You have to, all these points you have to use and frame a story. And when you frame a story or when you write a story, what you have to do is you have to give the title to the story and you have to write a moral. Moral means what do you come to know from the story? What lesson do we learn from that story? That is also very important. So now turn to page number page number 116. Story writing is there. See here, take out page number 116. Now this is example, I will just read it for you. Same story is not going to come and other story is going to come. But the points will be given. After giving the points, you have to frame the story and you have to see that each point you have to write. Not to miss out a single point. And you have to give the name, the title for the story and the moral. This thing you always should remember. Now look at page number 116. Story writing the shepherd boy and the wolf. Now what is the outline here? I told you points. Instead of points, outline is the more appropriate word, correct word. Outline means the outline of the story is given. A shepherd boy grazes sheep, dash dash dash, thinks of a mischief, cries wolf wolf, villagers come to help him, no wolf, villagers angry, one day a wolf comes, cries for help, none comes to help him, and then last moral. Now here what is this? These are the points. What is the point? A shepherd boy grazes sheep. Now here, see here, and one more thing is that when you frame a story or when you write a story, you have to give names to the character. You have to give names to the, now here shepherd boy, now here it is not given over here. How the story is, same way we will read the story. But see here, you can give name to the shepherd boy. Or you can give dialogues. When you say dialogue means two persons speaking. Monologue means one single person speaking. Dialogue means two persons are speaking. So in this you can give name to the person, you can name the different persons, then you can give dialogues, you can put dialogues also in the story, and then you can frame the story nicely. Now see here, story, what is there? Once there was a shepherd boy. Now here, when you are writing on your own, once there was a shepherd boy named, you can also tell the name, you can give a name. What happens? That will make your story more interesting. Now here this is story, same we will read, but in the exam when you get points, it is better you give the names, you give name to the characters. Once there was a shepherd boy. He looked after the sheep of the villagers. He used to graze. Graze means what? To take the sheep, to take the cattle to graze means to eat grass. What do cattle eat? They eat grass. Yes or no? You must have seen that the people, they are taking the cattle, they leave the cattle everywhere, they are roaming and eating grass, means they are grazing. Grazing means eating. Graze the sheep on the hillside. In the evening, he drove them back home, means he used to take them in the morning and at evening he used to come home again with them. One day he thought of a mischief. Now here also first comprehension also, what did we see? We saw that the boy is playing mischief. Now here this shepherd boy is also mischievous. What he thought? I will play some mischief just for fun's sake. And what does he say? He says, I will say that a wolf is coming. He climbed up a tree. He cried at the top of his voice. Top of a voice means ekdam moठ्याने ओरडणे, to shout very loudly at the top. Some children, how they cry at the top of their voices ना, एकदम मोठ्याने रडणे, मोठा आवाज, एकदम मोठा आवाज, एकदम सगळीकडे ऐकायला जातं कॉलनीमध्ये. Very loud noise. Top of his voice means very loud noise. Wolf, wolf, save me, help me. What does he shout? Wolf, wolf means the wolf has come. Wolf, wolf, come and save me, help me. The villagers came running with sticks in their hands, but they found no wolf there. The boy laughed and said, I shouted for fun only. Now, these villagers, when they hear this, what they do? They come running. Now, when we also shout for help, what happens? People, they come running to help us. So they came running with sticks in the hand. They didn't know that a wolf has really come or not. So they heard that help, help, and so they went to help. And so with what they went, they have sticks in their hands, and they were running with the sticks in the hand. They came and they saw that there is nothing over here. Then the boy laughs and he said, I was just making fun of you. The villagers became cross. To become cross means to become angry. Cross means what? Angry with him and went back home. One day, he made fun. So they were angry with him and they went back. Now one day what happened? Really a wolf comes. Really a wolf comes, but now this time see what happens. One day a wolf appeared out of nowhere. Out of nowhere means suddenly. Nowhere means अचानक. अचानक कोणतरी येतं. अचानक wolf आला. अचानक पाऊस पडला. From nowhere means all of a sudden or immediately. Out of nowhere means surprisingly or all of a sudden. The boy could not run away. Now this boy, really a wolf came. Could the boy run? No, he couldn't run away. He cried for help. Now this time also he cried for help, but this time did the villagers come? No, they did not come for help. Why? Because they thought again this boy is fooling us. But was he fooling now? No. No, now he was not fooling. Really a wolf had come, but earlier he had done that, so they thought that he is fooling us. They did not believe. They did not come to his help. The wolf killed many sheep. No one came to help him. So what happened? The wolf, he ate many sheep who were grazing in the field on the grass. He then sprang upon the boy and killed him. Then what happened? The wolf ate the sheep. Then he pounced on the boy. Sprang means jhep ghene, udi marne, and he killed the boy. What is the moral? Once a liar, always a liar. Now what is the moral of the story? Once he told lies, so now second time he was not telling a lie, it was the truth. But once you tell a lie, other people think that we are liars. Liar means a person who keeps on telling lies. So here, what is the name of the story? What is the shepherd boy and the wolf. Or here you can write, the boy's mischief also can be written. So if this story you have to write in, you can write this story in your own words also. Give the name to the boy, give the name to the 2-3 villages names also. If you can try, you can give it. Okay. So for this unit test, you are going to get a story writing. This story will not come. This is just for practice. I have read it. So, but what you have to do is remember, when you are writing a story, the outline will be given. Mean the points will be given. Each point should be mentioned in the story. Each point should be mentioned. Don't miss out single point. If you miss out single point, what will happen? The story will not have that effect. And give the name of a story. And you can start the story. Means once upon a time, or one day, or on a Saturday evening, or any day of the week, like this you can start a story. Okay. Or long years ago, many years ago, or long ago, there was like this. You have to read the points and then you have to start a story. Okay. Once upon a time, long ago, on a Sunday evening, or on a fine morning, or one day at 12 o'clock, or any like this time also you can take. So you can start a story with different words. Okay. You can begin the story with different words also. So now this was just an example. You read this story again at home today and try to write this story in your own words. Read it 2-3 times. You read it. You will get the points. All the points are here. You will get an idea. And what I am telling you, write this thing. What name? Give a name to the boy, and you can write one fine day, a boy named, suppose Gopal, a boy named Gopal, he took his sheep to graze. Gopal was a shepherd boy. Or you can start, once there was a boy named Gopal, he was a shepherd boy. He used to take the villagers' sheep to graze. Every day you can elaborate, means you can make your story more long. Every day he used to take his sheep, and then you can start the story. And moral also you can give other. Once a liar, always a liar. If you want, you can keep this moral, you can give other moral also. What you should play? Don't play mischief, or never make fun. He was making the fun of the villagers, by troubling them. Or don't trouble others. Don't make fun of others. This also moral you can give. Have you understood this, students? Okay, now see, remember this comprehension is also there for the paper. And this storytelling is also there. Only thing is that you will get some different story. Is it clear, children? Okay, bye.